Welcome to Adam.
I cannot say it is by choice.
For nurturing a boy child,
The effect of alcohol, drug
the modern man, and status.
is more informed when it comes to depression.
It really happens to so many young girls. Is courtship the same as dating?
This is the man I want. The ones that you use matters, not the occasion.
Good evening. Welcome to Adam. This is a show that talks about men and all the matters affecting them. And I am your host, Leona Asiko Obura. In today's show, we talk about man and health. Let's take a sneak preview of what people had to say.
Camille Isaac, I think a man's lifestyle affects his health because it depends with the decisions you make, even in life. You go to cheap places and take cheap stuff. I think people just carry you like that and think your lifestyle will be the same.
Okay, I'm Joy Mbogai, and I think it does. Lifestyle does affect the health of a person because I don't see how you'll eat junk food, not exercise, and expect to live a healthy life. That is why you hear in cases of such like heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, all these are lifestyle diseases. But also, if your lifestyle is good, then I don't see why your health will be affected. Exercise frequently, eat good food, healthy food, take a balanced diet, and be happy.
I'm Beth Njoki. Okay, yeah, I'm talking about how does a man's health affect his life. Like, let's say drinking. Drinking is one cause of his health. This can lead to liver cirrhosis and lung cancers, which are affecting his life. This is too bad for them. So if you know your health and you want to take care of it, cool love drinking.
My name is Joseph Mutiga, and okay, obviously, in computing it is quite obvious that whatever you give in is what you get out. That is garbage in, garbage out. And so it's the same, it's the converse, it's the same in lifestyle, that what you eat eventually turns up, or what you eat is important.
I'm Steve from Dista, and the answer to that question is yes, it does affect. For example, many men don't like cooking, so you find that they buy the fast foods, the junk, yet they don't do some exercise. So if you look at them, their health is at risk.
Welcome back. In studio with us today is Reverend Mugambi. Welcome, Reverend.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to have you here.
Same.
So you've heard what people had to say about man and health. It's really important to have a healthy man. So I'd like to start off by asking you, what are the simple, basic ways a man can keep fit?
Yeah, it's important for this lesson and for the people who are viewing us and listening to really note that much of what, or rather much of our lifestyle, make us unhealthy. And now, looking at man, there are those basic things like what does he eat, what does he drink, how does he live his life, is he an active man or inactive, at home, in the office, is he a man that can walk around, so that he can relax his muscles, he can relax his body. So touching on the health of a man, I can say it's a bit broad because there are many do's and don'ts that a man should have. The do's are: how much vegetables do you take? How much fruits do you take? Because all these add up to his health. The fruits, the vegetables, the cereals, all grain, and of course, trying to avoid most of the junk foods. Well, it can take once in a while, but not an always thing. That every time, every lunch hour, every evening, we find this man taking junk foods. Also, a man who does take care of what he smokes or how he smokes, how he drinks things. Like if he's an alcoholic, you can term that man as one that will have ill health in the future, because this man is always drunk, he's always smoking, and you know, he narrows, the more he smokes, you narrow the veins or the arteries, the veins, and so eventually he may end up getting things like blood pressure or even blood sugars. Also, when he takes drugs.
On that point of alcohol,
Yes.
what about a glass of wine a day? Like, they say wine is okay, so what's red wine to be specific?
Yes.
So how frequent do you think, if this man has to drink, do you think a glass of wine is okay?
I think Asiko, it depends with who this man is, because there are those who believe that wine is evil, as per se. They don't read the Father, they don't go into nutritional aspects of it or benefits of it. They just believe that taking alcohol is bad. And that's where you find there are churches who won't give wine, altar wine, and others that will give maybe Ribena or juice or something else, because they feel like they demonize wine. So in this case, I would say that it depends on each individual and the information he has. And that would call for consultation with the nutritionist, because they say wine is good even for cleansing the blood.
Red wine.
The liver, the red wine, the sweet wine. So I would say that I may not tell people go ahead and drink, because there are those again who may be told to go and drink, or other wine is good, and then you see them taking a whole carton, a whole liter of wine after meals, or you find them in pubs and they are taking a lot of wine. So they are as drunk as any other person who is taking the ordinary wine.
Wine, yes, that's true.
Therefore, I think that would depend on who is who and what information. Yes.
You were going on with the do's, sorry, I interrupted.
Yes, yeah. So about the do's, that so if this man knows and is conscious of his eating habit, when you eat, because we say, Asiko, you don't eat to the fear, that full, or rather to bound your bellies, right? You eat to make you become energy or have some energy,
give you some nourishment,
to make you continue with your work. And of course, when you have that energy, you can be able to do things. You don't eat to that level where you feel like you cannot be able to turn even when you're in bed. And that's why we say again in nutrition that you can eat a king's breakfast. And also, of course, a reasonable good lunch, which is which has all the required maybe nutrients in terms of nutrition, which has the value to your body. But in the evening, you eat the pauper's food, the poor man's food, where you take very little, so that you can give your body time to consume or digest whatever that you have eaten throughout the day.
You've used the term the pauper's food. Kindly, when you say, because you can eat little food, but it's not necessarily the pauper's food. So
that's what they say. That's what they say.
Food. Okay, give us examples of some of those foods.
Yeah, that's what they say. You just eat something little. It's like somebody who is fed by who is at the mercies of other people. So it's like you have borrowed that food. That's why they say like pauper's food, where you have borrowed from others. So it's not about anything to degrade anybody or degrade the people who are not well to do. but it's only used, it's a term used to show those who have that as much as you take that much, beware that it can be a problem to you. It can bring bad effect or ill health at the end.
Okay.
When it is too much in your body.
Okay.
So that's why the term is used. So the other thing is about you have already eaten and you have taken care of the drinking of if you take alcohol, you take with moderation. Not always, of course. And now it's time for you to exercise your body. Let's see this man exercising at home so that when he comes home, he doesn't just sit. Because there is a tendency of most men, when they reach home, he is just sitting there. He has his own chair or a sofa where he relaxes and he stretches his legs. He cannot wake up. He cannot take a cup to the kitchen. Everything is done for him. And so water, actually, literally almost everything.
But
except
Reverend,
maybe
in Ideal Man, you advised women to treat their men as kings.
Yes.
So maybe some of them would think serving him, even you bring the food to him, when he's done eating, you take it to the kitchen, will actually...
That's very important.
Yeah.
That, Asiko, that is very, very important for a man when he's treated that way. But in actual sense, I'm saying that as much as we receive the treatment with ingratitude, it can work also against us when we don't do anything.
Okay.
Can we be seen exercising? Can we be seen walking around the compound? Can we be seen maybe doing some cutting of glass around the house? You know, something that you are not forced to. Something, or even mending mending anything in the house, or taking care of the bed. You know, sometimes as much as we would want everything to be done for us by our women, it is also good for us to realize that these women are becoming better and better. No wonder, as you realize that most men die faster or earlier than the women. They leave their wives behind, and they stay for many years. And sometimes it's all about lifestyle. What kind of a lifestyle? This man has been there. He's been so immobile. He only drives, and when he comes home, he sits, he watches the TV, and goes to sleep. Wake up in the morning. He doesn't even enroll for gym, or even go for jogging, move around, so that at least he can relax. He can give his body time to be flexible.
Yeah.
That flexibility that can also make his muscles to be firmer. You know.
Yes.
So you find this man is cheeky, you know, the body is so soft, and, you know, it's not like the body of a man. It's not hard, you know. It's a soft body. And so we advise that at least for such, this man should always think and feel that it is my duty to do something. And of course, he should remember that he's a mentor. You remember when we talked of mentorship?
Yes.
He's mentoring both girls and boys in his house. So if he sets a good, a bad precedence, where his son looks at him and feels that my dad does not do anything in the house. So I will also be like him when I grow. So this boy will grow like his dad, and you'll forget the times are different. They will go with the wife in a place, and the wife is working, and even up to late hours. This guy will stay in the house waiting for food to be prepared by his wife, and nobody will prepare food. He may end up being enticed by some others out there where you'll be feeding, or he decides to be taking food from the hotels, which might also again work very much against him.
Okay.
There are cons in this, like, you know, such things like Asiko, when he turns into drinking every day, over drinking. Look at him, a chain smoker, right?
Yes.
He smokes all the time. He's a chain smoker, one after another, one after another. He did as much as he may feel that I have enough to buy my cigarettes. He should always remember, this man should always remember that this one will work against his health. They say you cut around 15 or so, or more than 15 years of his life. And this life is precious, God given. And therefore he needs to guard his life and not to entangle himself in such.
Yeah.
Also that drinking of every day, this man will at some point not be able to shoulder his responsibilities is at home, because like he comes home late and drunk. So one, you not eat the woman's food, and he may even spend on the sofa set or even on the floor, because the wife might not be strong enough to carry this man to bed. The other man who may sleep and then he falls off from bed. There's this giggling, turning in bed because he's drunk.
Yes.
So this guy will obviously fall
tumble
down
on the floor.
yeah. And now when he falls, who is there to raise him up? Sometimes they sleep there. The wife may also decide that enough is enough.
And she's also upset. She's
very much.
The whole day you're working, she's also working.
Yes.
You come home, instead of coming home in the evening to spend even those 3 hours together as a family, you decide to divert to the bar.
Yes.
So she also feels bad and lonely.
Yeah.
So it's only,
So you find such a man, again, because he's not feeding well, he's only turning to drinking. At the end, you find him again with the bad, ill health, the attacks of every kind, because the body, again, is declining in its health. So what do you find? That this man has no protection. Yeah, the armies of the body they are dead or they are asleep.
Yeah.
So those are the white blood cells. They are asleep or dead. So any disease coming to him, it might finish him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you hear maybe somebody has died after a very minor illness, because a lot has been happening in his body. And so all of a sudden we hear so-and-so is sick. By the time he reaches the hospital,
He passed on. Yeah.
He's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to men who are watching us here today? There's some of those who really want to work out, trust me, but they have a tight schedule. You have to be in the office by 8, then you have to be, from the office, you leave the office at 5, the Nairobi traffic or traffic wherever people are living. By the time they get home, it's again late. So what's, kind of simple exercises would you advise them to do? It doesn't have to be, some of them don't even have time to go to these gyms.
Yes, true.
So just some
true,
basic types of exercises.
You're right, Asiko, because the scenario you're bringing now is seen all over.
Yes.
Sometimes you're unable to attend to the gym or even go for a walk. I would advise that you keep maybe some home equipments, exercise equipments that are simple, very simple, like a roller where you can roll with your tummy in your bedroom or maybe table room, just on your carpet. You do it some maybe 10, 15 times and you sweat, because that sweating is also equally paramount. Now, if that is not enough, you can also buy a bike, that for cycling.
For cycling,
Yeah, you can keep it in the house.
In fact, that burns so much calories.
Yes, it does. And then, of course, he can decide maybe to get a rope, and then he keeps on jumping, skipping, jumping, and so on. That rope, again, is good as you jump up. It's like you are exercising the whole body.
The whole body, yes.
Yeah, the brain, everything. as you jump and jump, jump, jump. Maybe I would advise that every man should take around 30 minutes of that. Yeah, 30 minutes very early in the morning. Spare some time for some exercises so that at least you don't get into ill health out of your own ignorance.
And how many
So-
times in a week should they exercise? Every day, 3 to 4 times?
No, you can do around 3 times.
3
Not-
times a
not
week?
less than not
Okay.
not less than 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, that one would be enough for him, so long as it is at least 30 minutes, not less than again 30 minutes.
Okay.
There are also some press-ups. He can decide to do press-ups in the morning. Go to again in your bedroom, or if you have a big room somewhere, yeah, for leisure, then you go and have some press-ups, going up, down, down, up, and so on. Of course, it will trim even the tummy.
Yes.
And so you can do that. There can also be some running around the house, and simple exercises like breathing in and out.
What
The-
about jogging on the spot?
Yes, that's fantastic also.
Okay.
You are just jogging there and you sweat, but you should not allow anything to distract you. Maybe you can put some music. It entices somebody to keep on, doing
keep
the
going.
Yeah. Also dancing. Don't forget that. There is also dancing. You can dance alone, or you dance your wife. If she's not available, you can dance your children. You can also try to recruit them into that, because children are good at aping that. They want to see or to do what dad is doing,
Okay.
and they would enjoy that. So those are simple, domestic, home-friendly exercises that one can do, and you'll be fine. Lifting and twisting your neck, and skipping, breathing in and out, and so on. All these, I'm saying, there is no man who has any excuse as to why he should not have some exercises.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, many men, as compared to women, when they are faced with injuries, they will not go to hospital or seek medical help because they have to tough it out
Yeah.
as men. As society, we look at you men as strong beings. A man should not cry when he's hurt. In fact, when you see a man crying, it's shame. So some of these men have this toughing out thing in them that they do not even seek medical help when they're faced with injuries.
Yeah.
What can you tell your fellow men? What advice can you give them? Because this is really bringing down their health. And you
Yes.
cannot be healthy if you have an injury that does need a professional to deal with, and you're trying to nurse it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the mentorship of man has been, it has been very bad in the past, because man over time has been viewed as tough, with that masculinity, that he ought to do, tough things, hard things, even the eating, They have found that a man would eat very soft food, and people would wonder, like in my culture,
Okay.
they would wonder what kind of food you're eating
What
as
kind
a
of
man.
food is that is soft?
Very soft, like muchele, rice.
Oh, okay.
Like when every time you're eating rice, you're eating chapatis, all
okay.
those. They tell you obviously that, man, you're not doing yourself justice. You need to eat man food. Eat githeri, yeah? Eat mukimo. Eat those traditional food. And eat ugali, yeah? That thick porridge, eat. And drink a lot of gulwero, a lot of unji as a man. Leave the tea alone and other things, but you can take a lot of milk, even sour milk, like maziwa lala and yogurt. All those you're viewed to be a real man when you are taking all these things. Yams and potatoes and, cassava. Those are food for men. And so if you are not doing that, if you're not eating such, then you are viewed not to be man. Now coming back to your question, the society would think man is one, a coward, if he is seen to be crying. That even if you are touched by maybe an episode or something that has happened, a situation, family situation, or you have met friends who have had problems, and then you feel like you can shed your tears.
Yeah.
They view you as
A weakling.
a very weak, soft man.
Yeah.
Now, when a man is hurt because of the upbringing, sometimes they even hide. I remember even my own children, when they were growing, you'd find a boy with a scar,
Okay.
yeah, a big scar, a big wound. And when I detect that he has a big wound, and I ask him, hey, what happened? Tell me, Daddy, it's going to be okay. And I fell somewhere and so on. And why didn't you say? Me, I thought it would clear. This is a boy. If it were a lady, a girl, she would run to the mother or even the father and tell, Daddy, look at what has happened to me and so on. Now, this is the society. It's not me who taught it, but the society teaches. The other boys teach. So even when he falls, as they play around, he cannot cry. Notice this. Just try to watch this, even in the estates. You see how the boys are behaving. Even when you fall down, you try like he wants to cry, and the others will start laughing at him. So and you just keep quiet and behave like everything is okay. Even if he was to cry, everything is okay. You would rather cry when they are far from him, when he leaves this place, because he is still in pain. Some of them have even broken their arms, in the process, and they cannot cry in the presence of the others. It's again because of the mentorship. Well, as much as you'd want to tough it out, that, I'm okay. When all is not well, it is not well.
Yes.
You need to speak it out. As opposed to women. Women won't go, talking it out. You meet with another lady, you tell her what you're feeling. You tell her about the husband, you tell her about the feelings at home and in your place of work, how your boss is bad and so on. But this man or not. So it is actually working against men so much that it is making us lose so many men in the process. Because that's how they get into grief, into depression, into all those. Because he is not able to
speak out.
So I would advise every man to follow the example of women. We are not saying that every man should go speaking out to any man or to any woman that he finds in the streets, or to all friends. Every man should pick on the particular people, particular men, or even women that he can pour his heart to. If that is not possible, then he needs to identify somebody like a counselor.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And when he goes to a counselor, he can pour his heart
Open up.
out. Yeah.
But
And
but when they're ill, please encourage them.
That's
Seek
again
medical help. Because sometimes you can think something is just a wound,
True.
and it can get past and so many things. And what could have been treated immediately ends up to be something very, very
Chronic.
big. Yes, in
Yeah.
the name of toughing it out as a man.
That's
No.
true. That's true. Actually, when it comes to health, because that's what I wanted to come to, and you've rightly said so, health is not something that a man should mess himself with. You mess about with health. If you feel some pain, like now I remember I lost a friend
Okay.
over the same, that every time he used to have some headache, he was a smoker, a chain smoker. He used to have some pain on the head. He would pick a Panadol, swallow. Any painkiller allowed. He would just pick that. One day, he had a serious attack that could not take him to hospital when he was alive. Several men have died under such circumstances. Therefore, I would advise men that as much as you want to prove that you're a man, we know you are. Like now, you don't have to ask me whether I'm a man or a woman. You don't have to, Asiko. You know I'm a man. I know you are a woman. So, for you to be seen to be a real good man who is caring about his family, about yourself, is seen in how much you take care of yourself. Men should love themselves like women do.
Yes.
When you feel like, something is not adding up, I have some attack of every other time. I'm feeling like some dizziness in the morning. I'm feeling some migraine. I have some stomachache almost every other morning. After I have eaten, I feel like I have constipation every time I have constipation. Whatever suffering, whatever ailments, whatever feelings that are not positive in yourself, it is always good to consult the doctor.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to look at certain diseases that affect men and ways in which they can avoid them. Stay tuned.
Take your career to the skies with Nairobi Aviation College. 2014 intake is in progress for certificate and diploma courses in aeronautical engineering, airport operations, general aviation piloting, electrical and electronics engineering, computer science and IT, hotel and catering, travel and tourism, journalism and mass communication, business management, supplies management, community development, clearing and forwarding, secretarial, CPA and ATC programs. Visit our campuses in Meru, Nairobi, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, Eldoret and Kitale. Our courses are IATA approved. Nairobi Aviation College. Profession is power. At the Kenya Institute of Media and Technology, we are the gurus in the training of certificate and diploma in journalism, computer studies, business administration, hospitality management, travel and tourism management, clearing and forwarding, social work and community development, and electrical and electronics. Visit us at our head office at Mtihani House and Taveta Court, Nairobi. Kenya Institute of Media and Technology. Technology is power.
Welcome back. For those joining us, we are talking about man and health today. Any questions, comments, and suggestions, do hit us up on our Facebook page, which is Aviation TV. Twitter handle is @Aviation TV. My official Facebook page is Leona Asiko Obura. My Twitter handle is @Leona Asiko Obura. Reverend, many men are said to have issues sorting out emotional problems as compared to women. Let's take divorce as an example. Is it true that divorce affects men more than it affects women to the extent that it affects their health?
Well, Asiko, divorce affects both. It's agonizing to both. Because you see, it's losing a person that you loved. Because in the first place, when a man is getting married to this woman, they have entered into a relationship which should be long-lasting, death should make them part. But in the process, a few things have happened. They cannot cope up with each other. They have issues to wrestle with. Now, what happens is that in the event of divorce, it is the aggrieved person that seeks for divorce. But believe you me, even if the other party was not aggrieved, he or she is equally agonized. traumatized by divorce. But now, when it comes to the issues of men in relation to divorce, like if it is a man who has taken the divorce to the court of law, he feels satisfied that it has been carried out.
Okay.
That, of course, that burden, because it was like a burden, it is off my shoulders. Similarly, if it was the woman who was ungrieved and she, they are easier to notice the issues, the problems in a marriage. And women can easily know whether this marriage will work or not work. She will either remain in this marriage or not remain in it.
Yes.
So in most cases, there are women who take the divorce to the court of law. And when she does, she has that self-esteem. She feels that, I've achieved. You may find that if then that divorce has gone through, it is the time that she increases or she enhances her career by going to class, for class in the evening. You may find her also changing the car or something else because she is happy about it.
And she wants change in order to move on.
Now, when it comes to man, he may be adversely affected because of the public opinion. What do my friends say now that I've lost my partner through divorce? So he may be withdrawn. He may tend to be like a loner.
Yes.
That when you meet him in pubs, he is all alone, taking beer alone, going to the house alone. See a man who has been used to having everything done for him. He may also turn into excessive drinking, alcohol and drugs and even smoking, marijuana, heroin. This man might turn into a very, very bad life because he has lost that. So men are more affected than women. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a man who's going through such a phase?
Good. Now, just in case, because these are normal things, I would ask this man to accept it, to accept the reality in the first place. Let this man know that these are normal things, that if it was not meant to work, it can never work. 2, I would advise this man who is going through divorce to seek for better friends who will understand him, who will give him the right counsel, who will talk to him positively, who will not lure him into bad habits, like some would take him to any sort of illicit behaviors because they have bad behaviors.
Yeah.
So he should also be wary of friends whom he could call and they don't pick his phones, because those would really irritate him.
Yeah.
So if you realize that you are not walking along well with a certain friend, just ignore him.
Cut off.
Cut off completely. Even if it was a relative, you realize that they are looking at you as a failure, even if it is your pastor. You need to cut your relationship. Get another pastor who would understand you better, who will not demonize you. Go and pray with him. I'm saying that even if it was the servant of God, who could not look at this marriage like it has just failed, and there is nothing you can do about it. It has been people have tried to salvage it. It has not been possible. So if this has not happened, Asiko, let this man get other people around himself who understand him. People that will tell him you can make it. You can remarry, because it's not the end of everything. That because you have parted ways completely with your former, that you cannot get the right person.
Yeah.
If this person is, those who are encouraging you, who are moving with you to church, not always in brothels, that they are showing you, you know, you can marry that, you can marry the other, you can marry the other. You know, these are the kind that will make him even to lose more. And you'll be viewed by the former wife like a failure. Even the society will see him as a failure because he's not making ends meet.
And
he's
in
always
case there
drunk.
were children in their union, he is not being a good father figure to those children.
To them. Yeah, again, that's important, Asiko, because this man should also be seen taking care of the children of the former wife.
Divorcing does not make the children seeds from being yours.
No.
Yes.
They are his children.
And his responsibility.
Period. Yeah, it is his responsibility. He needs to have time for the children, get them, move with them out, stay with them in the house. That's why he cannot afford to live just an awkward life. He needs to be decent in the way he lives.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to bring any other woman in the house. If he has to marry, he has to marry somebody who also accepts the children.
The children.
Because he should not marry in secret without telling the wife, the new wife, the new bride, that, by the way, I was divorced. I mean, I'm a divorcee, and I have children with my former wife. So they'll be coming to us. They'll come and stay with us maybe for a weekend. I'll be spending with them, yeah, because I'll take them out. I'll be paying for their school fees. I may have some other responsibilities, as much as maybe my former wife may have a lot to do. What are you as a man doing to build those children, to mentor the children? So let us see him doing that. Let's see him also going to church. And if he's a Muslim, let him go to worship in the places of worship. So because he doesn't become a misfit, a social misfit, by the title that he has acquired of a divorcee. No. The society still requires this man. He should be as productive as ever. Again, Asiko, this is the time also this man should enroll for even studies. We should see him enrolling for some, maybe a degree course, or even a certificate, or even master's, or a PhD. Let him not sit back and start lamenting. It is not coincidental. It is not something that has come suddenly. It is something that has been thought about for many years, thought over and over again, years and years.
Before a divorce occurs, something that has been
there has
thought
been
of.
even separation. And you decided that now the best thing I can do, so that I don't kill my wife or she doesn't kill me, let us part ways. That is okay. And he should change himself and move on with life.
Okay.
Yes.
So now let's start on diseases keenly.
Yes.
Benign hyperplasia prostate is a disease that affects men as they get older. What are some of the signs and symptoms?
You know, when you talk of the prostate issues, this is where man, in most cases, goes wrong. Asiko, a prostate problem or prostate cancer, those things that you hear, prostate cancers, there are many today in the society. But if a man could detect a problem early, it can never be a problem anymore, because it can be treated, it can be taken care of early, maybe through medication or even surgery. Like now we were seeing some while ago, some days, I think some days or a week ago, of the new technology of how to take care of our prostates. Now, problems that are related to prostate would be seen, they manifest themselves through this. One, if a man realizes that he is passing on urine very frequently, that every other time you feel like, I want to go to the loo. And when you go there, you don't drain it. You don't drain the whole of it. It comes out in bits. The jet is not strong. You know, it does not have the pressure. It's it is too weak for you to pass it on, to throw it to the trench right?
Okay.
You may find it falling on your shoes. You need to be worried of that, yeah, that something is not happening. The other thing that a man should always be worried about, or rather he should examine to know whether he is being affected, is the age. What is your age? Because they say from 40, every man is a candidate to it. And it is worse when you are 75 and above, 75 years and above. A third of, almost half of men in those ages, they have those problems, the prostate cancers. Now, there is also the problem of when a man goes to the toilet to pass on urine, he finds that it's like he is forcing himself to drain it.
Okay.
Right? And when when he has already done that, it doesn't move out or come out the whole of it. So you may find him messing his trousers, dibbling of the urine. So it has some few or even many drops,
Okay.
which have not been passed on. They still remain. The other thing that is also important for every man to know is like when he has, every night he has to wake up almost after every 1 hour, he is out to pass on urine. After every 1 hour. And every man should really be conscious of this.
Okay.
He should not take it like it's a
Lightly,
normal thing.
yeah.
It's a normal thing. That every time I wake up at the night, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, even if you are not taking a lot of water, that you feel like, and once he goes there, he feels again he is taking a lot of time, staying there, staying for a long time. He needs to know that something is not working out right.
Okay. Our researchers say that 1 out of 5 fertility issues amongst couples are often caused by the male side. At what point of a man's life would you advise him to go and have his fertility levels checked?
Yeah. Asiko, infertility in most cases is blamed on women.
Yes.
And that is very, very bad. It's a serious thing. Even when man has not been checked, the good thing with women is that they frequently go to hospital.
To the gynecologist.
Antenatal, even antenatal,
Yeah.
going for wellness of their children and themselves, going to the gynos to be checked. But men would rarely go. So, in the same way that he's not able to go to hospital, even when he stays with his wife for some years without getting pregnant, this man would still feel like he points a finger at the wife.
Yes.
That she is the cause of this. He himself cannot think of being infertile.
Yeah.
I would advise that if a man and his wife or his woman have stayed in marriage for more than 2 years and they have been having regular sex without having, without impregnating this lady, both of them need to go for checkup.
Okay.
Because it might be that it's something that would be rectified with medication. Nobody should lay blame on each other until it has been examined by the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what ways of an unhealthy lifestyle can reduce a man's infertility?
As we earlier discussed in question 1, if man is not careful on what he eats, if man is not careful on his lifestyle, you find that he has a problem he may be having a big problem. So I would advise that every man should always be conscious of what he eats, be conscious of what he drinks, be conscious of his lifestyle, so that, because again, you see, like Asiko, there are men who will stay out through almost to up to midnight or past midnight. That's a bad lifestyle. Chewing cut, or they call Mira, right? Using a sonda, cold sondas. Yeah? By the time he comes home, is he a performer leader? He may not be able to perform as expected as a man. Sometimes eating anything. Where men go, they go to pubs and they eat nyama choma. Not with moderation, always. But that he has to eat nyama choma.
Yeah.
He has to take hard drinks, spirits, those malted beers. This man comes home, that way he is full of gas, and that's why they bound their berries, you know. So eventually, you find that out of lifestyle, one will be found not to be wanting, to be towing the line.
Some say that even cigarette smoking reduces the rate of fertility. Is that true?
Definitely, yes, because it narrows the arteries, such that even the heart will have a problem eventually, because everything is narrowed.
Yeah.
So they'll suffer from those infertilities, and also most of them will suffer from high blood pressure. And you see, Asiko, when you have high blood pressure, also even the performance in sex will also be low.
Yeah.
Right? You have the low libido, everything will be low. Now, fertility would also go hand in hand with what actually you eat and what you drink. Because how do you expect to give birth to a healthy kid if you're not eating healthy food?
Yes.
The foundation is not good. So in actual sense, you may find that you may have the power to impregnate or to fertilize an egg, but what comes out of it might be also very weak. Yeah.
And
so
of course, they'll also blame the woman.
Of course they'll do. They'll do. They'll say it's your fault. You know, you are not eating well when the child was in the womb, and they will lay all sorts of blames. And that's why we are saying man should carry his own cross. Let him not lay every burden, every problem on the woman, but he should examine himself in the way he is living. How much fruits is he eating? Let him eat as much fruit as oranges, fresh, not all the time the canned. No, let him take the fresh juices, the fresh vegetables. Let us see this man who is eating, fresh food. He is ready to eat his wife's food, and not all the time out there is where he eats nyama choma and comes home.
Yes.
They also say, by the way, that nyama choma, they say, nyama choma affects the quality of sperms.
Ah.
Yeah. When you are taking a lot of nyama choma with beer, my friend, what you are doing is that you're polluting. You're polluting your sperms.
That's interesting.
You're making them weaker and weaker. So some may not have tails, and sperms have tails. Some may be
headless.
May be handless. They may be anything. Yeah, they may be anything. Yeah, even without eyes. Okay. Therefore, we are saying that the fertility of a man can be even genetical. Infertility can be genetical, where he has carried the gene of over a number of years.
Okay.
We cannot also rule out that. He may be carrying that one over time. I don't know whether it can be corrected, but if he realizes that he is infertile and every other thing is working on well, sex is good, and so on, he should consult the doctor immediately for advice.
Men tend to store fat around their tummies, which can lead to illness and disease. How can they maintain trimmer, leaner abdomens as they get older?
Yeah. It's very, very dangerous, especially when a man carries a big pot, big in belly. Because as he ages, that, it is storing of fat, isn't it? He is carrying a lot of fat, a lot of mass within himself. So this man will have he is likely to suffer the heart attack. So that's why he should not be proud when, in the streets, everyone sees him walking with a big belly, that I'm so proud that everybody is seeing me as a huge man, So it is his duty to make sure that he is trying to trim it through exercises. Do as much exercises as possible and eat little quality food. Little. Even if you have a lot of appetite, you would rather eat many times a day.
But in small portions.
In small portions.
And less fat.
Less fat, less
carbohydrates,
less meat.
Yeah.
You can only eat maybe things like
fish,
like poultry, the chicken and beans. They can give you proteins and less of carbohydrates because they turn into fats. Yeah. When they are converted by the body, they turn into fat, and they will be stored all over. So I would advise that he be careful on the food again and the amount of food that he is eating. For the first days, out of experience, he may experience so many problems in terms of getting so hungry. Even he may not sleep, like if he was used to eating at night. But he should constrain himself because he is on a program. He should program himself. He should put himself on a dietary program so that he can save his life. Otherwise, if he doesn't do that, chances are that he might even die of heart attack. Or even keep a lot of, so many other problems, blood pressure and blood sugar and so on.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should be careful.
Okay.
Right.
A research done in Australia shows that men are more likely to suffer from heart disease as compared to their partners, the women. So what can men do to avoid these overly heart disease things that happen to them as compared to their partners? Are there any precautions they can take?
Yes, there are precautions. I think we keep on repeating this. It's like ringing a bell because this program is about seeing a healthy man, because that's how women can be proud of their healthy men. Heart attacks have been there, because if the veins are clogged. They are clogged with the fat all over. The heart is surrounded with the fat. It cannot be able to pump properly. This man is not exercising. He is a man that would just sit. And he is relaxed that way, ordering things to come, eating those fatty foods, canned meat, fast foods. Meet him eating even chips. You would wonder. We are not saying chips are bad, right?
Yeah.
What we are saying is that everything should be eaten with moderation, and you should know who is eating. Who is eating? Because there are those that seriously require some oil. And they would require those.
The anorexic.
Yes.
Yes.
But there are some others who don't require that. You are past that. And your age and your body structure should dictate on what you eat and what you drink. Those canned food, avoid them. How about a lot of salt? You find somebody adding salt on the table. Yeah, that table salt, and you're adding it to the food. All those will make that heart to keep on having problems. Those heart attacks. Something else that also, again, is very, very important, and we are really pleading with the men. Please, just in case you realize that the breathing system is changing, everything is changing. Maybe sometimes you feel that the heart is pumping very fast, other times it is slow, and so on, and the breathing system is changing. Please, as much as we are tough, let our toughness be proved by the doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, let him help us.
Oh, that was nice. Erectile dysfunction is the inability of a man to achieve or sustain an erection throughout sex. What causes this?
Erectile dysfunctions, ED, the other term they
The
use
simpler
is
term.
an ED.
Yeah.
You know, it is where a man is not able to satisfy his partner. He can be satisfied himself and you'll be okay. But the partner will be disadvantaged. She'll keep on complaining and complaining. Most of the times it is related with this.
The mind.
With the mind. Like if the man is always distressed, chances are that he will not be able to perform proper sex, quality sex. If man has some issues that are disturbing him over the wife, he may not be able to function sexually well. You have some dysfunctions. If this man does not, or is grieved again, he may not have proper sex. If this man does not receive some applause, some commendations, some praises, like he is there and you complain all the time, because sometimes it may start slowly, like this man is so strong sexually. So the first round, in most cases, it belongs to the man, if he has not been doing it regularly. The first, in most cases, most of men, the first ejaculation, the first sex with the wife, with the woman, will be to satisfy the man. So if this woman is mad about it because she was waiting for satisfaction, and this man has helped himself, he has reached orgasm, and then he has not been able to satisfy the wife, and then she starts complaining, it is enough reason to put him off. So that even the second time, it might not be possible for man to go into this woman again. He may not even be able to erect so that he can go back to it. But if this lady would understand him, and that's why this program again is very, very important, that if this lady realizes that a man has helped himself, he has satisfied himself, and she has not been satisfied, she should not complain. She should tell him, I know, sweetie, you're going to make me happy in the next second or third round. And she should not allow him to sleep. Yeah. Because that's, again, where we go wrong. Women go wrong. Where you allow him to sleep because, once he satisfies himself, he feels that he's okay. He's so relaxed and he can start sleeping.
Which is unfair. We should
Very
both
unfair.
be okay.
But I'm saying
women should not let the man sleep.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Let them hear that. Keep him busy. Entice him. Yes. Try to entice. He's your man. try to explore him, raise him up, give him a cup of beverage, maybe some coffee, or even whatever it is, some warm things. Don't bring cold things at that time.
Okay.
Because you want him hot, you know. Let him get these drinks, right? And keep him busy with hot things. Talk to him, own the pressure points, you remember?
Yes.
Last time he said that they should be here on those touch.
Women should learn their man's pleasure points.
Yeah, pressure points. Good. So let them touch those points and go again to the bed. If he doesn't, if he's halfway done or almost, she was almost to get a share, then she should not again be tired. She should go back again to him and ask him, baby, can I bring something else? You know, sweet things. You know, can I bring you a banana? You know, as a fruit. Maybe an orange is good. An orange is very good for that matter. Or even some chocolate.
Okay.
You can give him some chocolate. Let him take chocolate. Eat with him. You know, try to do anything. Caress him. You know. And that time, review me. You perform.
Okay.
And once he performs, because he is with this woman every time, don't allow him to stay for many days without having sex.
Okay.
Make it a routine. Every day, at least once, twice, or thrice, depending on the strength of this man.
Okay.
Avoiding anything that will grieve this person. That even when you hear, like, there was Sunday news, and when he is on, is when you break the news. You'll be dysfunctional.
Okay.
When he's there, you start asking him, when are you going to buy me that plot? My friend, that man will be dysfunctional.
So let love-making time be love-making time.
Anything there, sweet, 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 sweet.
Okay.
Sweet nothings.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Reverend.
Welcome.
To my viewers, I'm sure you've learned a lot. To our men, keep healthy, keep fit. For any questions, comments, and suggestions, hit us up on our official Twitter handle, which is Aviation TV Kenya. Our Facebook page is Aviation TV Kenya. I was your host, Leona Asiko Obura. I do enjoy having you. Do join us next week, same place, same time, and repeat is on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Have yourself a blessed week.
Emil Isaac, I think a man's lifestyle affects his health because it depends with the decisions you make, even in life. You go to cheap places and take cheap stuff. I think people just carry you like that and think your lifestyle will be the same.
Okay, I'm Joy Bogai, and I think it does. Lifestyle does affect the health of a person, because I don't see how you'll eat junk food, not exercise, and expect to live a healthy life. That is why you hear in cases of such like heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, all these are lifestyle diseases. But also, if your lifestyle is good, then I don't see why your health will be affected. Exercise frequently, eat good food, healthy food, take a balanced diet, and be happy.
I'm Beth Njoki. Okay, yeah, I'm talking about how does a man's health affect his life. Like, let's say drinking. Drinking is one cause of his health. This can lead to liver cirrhosis and lung cancers, which are affecting his life. This is too bad for them. So if you know your health and you want to take care of it, cool love drinking.
My name is Joseph Mutiga, and okay, obviously, in computing it is quite obvious that whatever you give in is what you get out. That is garbage in, garbage out. And so it's the same, it's the converse, it's the same in lifestyle. That what you eat eventually turns up, or what you eat is important.
I'm Steve from Dista, and the answer to that question is yes, it does affect. For example, many men don't like cooking, so you find that they buy the fast foods, the junk, yet they don't do some exercise. So if you look at them, their health is at risk.